night comes a fall. Did anyone hear you call as you drove your Volvo into a canal? Oh, this is it. I love you, but I've nowhere else to go. I'm a depressio. I'm a depressio.
Jonathan Davis, how you doing, mate?
Shit. Jonathan Davis is from Corn.
Hello. Davis, how are you doing?
I'm all right.
Yeah?
Welcome to episode I don't know what.
Well,
Oh,
we
fuck
had
it.
a week off last week because we were both ill. We were both having mental health days.
Mental health
We
days.
had mental health days.
Mental health crisis.
Mental health
We don't have
days.
headphones on either. This is weird.
It is a bit weird because it feels like we're talking to each other rather than like hearing each other in.
Just living on the blockchain.
Living on the blockchain.
Out soon as well.
Yeah.
What you been up to this week?
Guess what? Yeah. Guess what I did yesterday?
What did you do yesterday?
I went to a soft play. Have you ever been to a soft play?
I know the
before?
band Soft Play, aka they used to be called the Slaves.
Coldplay.
No, Soft Play were used to be the Slaves,
yeah,
didn't they?
yeah. It used to be slaves, now soft play.
Soft Play what, mate?
The concept of a soft play is so fucking.
I love we're straight in. Let's go.
It's so fucking mental because
What is a soft play?
It's
I think I
just
know what
like-
you're talking about.
it's just a giant. It's a giant industrial warehouse where you can take your child and like just let them crawl around and shit, and then there's loads of like soft blocks there. But the thing that intrigues me the most about a soft play is not the actual like soft play itself, it's the people that work at the soft play. Because yesterday my favorite moment of the whole day was when a couple of the soft play workers, they put on like a little show for the kids at like 1:30 and they sing Baby Shark and shit. It's well annoying. But we were like, obviously we're going to watch it because my kid's going to like it. But in the lead up to that, they were putting on...
Did he like it?
He loved it, yeah. Baby
I could
Shark
imagine.
did it, and like the big arms, everyone's going, the parents go fucking wild. It's like their freedom, their release. They're like, oh, mummy, shark, slap, slap. Absolute, the
Why
worst.
why was it fascinating for you? What was
So these people that put on the show, I'm just looking at and I'm like, they are like theatre students. Do you know what I mean?
And what age were they?
They were like in their early 20s. I reckon like they're probably just like graduating uni or like still at uni just about, but like studying drama for sure. One of them had green
trying
hair.
to do improv.
One of them had green hair. I'm like,
Right.
absolute. And there was a point where I don't know what musical this was from, but she put on this song and it's like, my days are hard, my days are long, I sweep up high and low, and one day I will get to where the fuck I'm gonna go.
She said fuck.
No, but I'm just ad-libbing.
Okay.
I don't know the song.
I was going to say,
I
a
can't
soft
remember.
place,
I
and
can't
they
remember
start
the
just
song.
dropping
No,
F-bombs.
No, there's no F-bombs, but that's how I heard it in my head. And she's singing every word of this song with like such gusto, momentum, and at the same time she's like wiping down like all these surfaces of like just kids puke, snot, sick, just various
Right, I'm
dribble.
getting so
drool.
technical with this, but like at the same time.
Yeah, so she's like, I don't know how, I don't know when, I'm gonna escape this place.
She's like secretly talking about
I'm sick of
working
fucking washing shit off little children's faces. And I was watching her perform that song as though it was her life. And then I was looking around at the other people that worked at the soft play, and I was like, what draws people to work at a soft play? You know what I mean?
Maybe it's like this love for kids or acting, you know, you want to get into improv maybe it might, or drama like you said, maybe it might give you that confidence to actually perform in front of like in other aspects rather than just a soft play.
There was a point where there was this like the 1:30 performance which we caught. I'm so glad.
1:30.
The 1:30 show. Of course.
What was that?
You know, well, it was.
Did you have like a playbook? Like, oh, the 1:30
the
show.
No, it was like there was an announcement over the tannoy, and they're like, "Oh, the 1:30 show's coming up. Better make sure you're there for that." And I'm like, fucking absolutely right, I will be. I've paid 15 quid to
15 shoots.
15 shootinis to be here.
Yeah.
15 fucking smackadongongs.
I think you get quite. How long are you there for?
Oh, actually, to be fair, 15 shoottinis for what we got was all right. It
I
would
wonder how much
normally
the
be
staff
like
are
an
getting
hour and a
paid.
half.
I don't want to call them staff. I want to call them actors.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely call it like that. That's what it would say, isn't it, on their thing? You know, like Subway have sandwich artists.
They do call themselves sandwich artists, don't they? Subway, yeah.
They would be like resident in-house actor, thespian.
See,
thespian.
I wouldn't like to do that, but what I would like to do is something similar. Like whenever I went to Alton Towers and they did the Scarefest thing I'd love to dress up as like a zombie and just like, you know, you can't physically touch people. I think that was one of the rules. You can get in their face, but you couldn't touch.
Mate, I bet you could do that though.
Me personally, absolutely.
As in, like, I bet if that is your dream, if that is truly your dream, I bet that's not out of the realms of possibility for you to do that.
What else fascinated you about this soft play? Just that.
Genuinely, like the best part of it was just watching this unfold before my eyes. It was like I was watching a musical of this woman's life. She wanted to escape her job in the soft play. And
just secretly talking about the soft play.
Yeah, so like when she was saying, I don't know how, I don't know when, I must escape this place. I will never wash the shit off child's off another little Taurus thing. I was like,
and then
my
there's a
God.
pause and she locks eyes with you and goes, help me. And then just carries on singing.
She was like flicking her hair, man. She was so into it. She was like animated. She believed it. It was her story. The song that was on was from another musical, but that musical told her story. And in her head, I bet she was like, I just feel like she was thinking, I am so fucking, one day I'll be done with this place. I'll be off this rock. And then I was like, yeah, but where are you going to go? Like,
where was this?
Do I say the name of the soft
fair
play?
No, don't say the name of soft play, but like, where is it
in Manchester? In a nice area of Manchester. We don't live there. We drove there. But yeah, in a nice area of Manchester. I mean, it's not a bad job at all. Like, I'm not shitting on people that work in the soft plays, but I think you have to be a very specific person that works in a soft play.
Like I just spoke to you about earlier, like kids presenters as well. They're the same kind of like, I don't want to work with kids ever.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not my thing. Like, it's just, you don't, apparently that's a rule in Hollywood, isn't there? You don't work with children or animals.
Yeah, that's because in Hollywood they
well, exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, well, you've told me all about Hollywood
exactly.
on the Patreon, which you can sign up to. If you really want, please do.
I love that there's no actual facts on the Patreon. I know we're trying to sell it, but like I pretty much go down a rabbit hole and say, oh well, you know, I don't really.
You say a lot about nothing.
Yeah,
you say a lot about nothing, but
it reminds me. And I
to.
don't know when this is going to be out, but it reminds me of that big meme that blew up.
Which one?
Come on, you know everyone's talking about.
Are you going to say Willy Wonka? Are you dropping a Wonka?
It's the same. I'm dropping the Wonka.
Dropping a wonk.
That's a new name for taking a shit. Dropping a Wonka.
Dropping a Wonka. So fucking just drop a Wonka up there.
Just gonna fucking drop a quick Willy Wonka. Huh?
Oh my God.
So it reminds me of that, and apparently there was a performance there, wasn't there? Did you know this? Because more and more videos are coming out. Because everybody, I don't need to, describe this to people. Everybody who listens to this, it's an epidemic. My friends made so much money from making a T-shirt.
Yeah. Shout out to Swaz Draws.
Going to bring up his T-shirt. If it might be, the trend might be gone by now.
Nah, but buy it anyway.
This is a relic in time. Buy it anyway. I'm showing it right now.
It'll come back around. I've still got one of his not Tiger King.
Mate, I still wear
Making a Murderer T-shirt.
Making a Murderer, God, he's doing a killer. It's such a good business model, like to make meme T-shirts. But anyway, it reminds me, more and more videos are coming out about that Wonka thing. Like first, it was the initial pictures, wasn't it?
The pictures got leaked.
The pictures got leaked.
The pics got leaked. Yeah, they all.
Where was it? Somewhere in.
It's in Glasgow.
In
Scotland. Glasgow. Just imagine how pissed off people are in Scotland.
They used AI They used AI imagery to really it looked like this fantastical, magical, mythical world, and then when you actually saw it, it's just so disappointingly depressing. But me and my friends actually want to go. I think that's more of a selling point.
But
It was
in
like-
fact, like, just keep it going now. Surely they're keeping it open because it's like the world's shittest Willy Wonka experience.
I bet they've made a killing now.
Well, mate, can I just throw us back to 2011, October 2011?
Please do.
We went to Amsterdam.
Yep.
Were we or were we not sold tickets to the greatest ice experience you will ever experience?
Yeah. Oh god.
And
I
was the
remember
greatest
this.
ice experience we ever experienced 2 static freezers welded together? And we were stood there in fucking E17 coats that we were given, served a tiny beer in a glass made of ice, and literally we paid, what, 35 euros for that.
Was that how much it was?
And none of us at the time like complained or like did anything really with it. I think we took.
We were just laughing about how this is just 2 static caravans.
We've got a
Or 2
photograph
static,
of us
like-
in it.
Yeah.
Like if I can find it, put it in here.
Oh well, yeah.
Blur out the faces of the officer that we don't want to. We don't want him to lose his job, and
God damn it.
also maybe JT, block him out as well, because I don't know if he'll be happy being included in this. But that, like that,
JT won't care.
this shysting has been going on for years.
I think you make more money these days off something being absolutely garbage. Like if it's meme worthy, people don't care. It's like Binley Mega Chippy.
Binley Mega Chippy.
Did you ever?
Yeah, fucking hell, man. That's a good business model, though,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Like you
Do a song about it.
Yeah, they did. They just
that what
blew
they
up on
did?
TikTok.
Did they do a song about it?
No.
Or was it just a video about it? Like,
I
this is
swear
amazing.
it was just one of those phenomenons. This is what we talk about a lot. But like memes, as a marketing team, you can't really create memes. Memes just get fucking thrust upon you and created themselves. And Binley Mega Chippy was one of those. And I remember being on TikTok at the time and seeing Binley Mega Chippy, and it was just a song. I don't know who made it.
Yeah.
But then that business made so much money.
Oh, of course it did.
Like,
Because
and they couldn't-
everybody was going there.
But then it went horribly down because it's a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
So,
that's the
like-
problem, though, isn't it? It's not a sustainable business model
Fun
because
fact, I went there recently, Binley Mega Chippy.
on like by accident or
By
like on purpose.
absolute accident.
Where,
We
is
were
it
driving
near,
on the
is it
way
near
to...
you?
No.
Oh,
We're
right.
driving on the way to Leanne's parents.
Yeah.
And we were kind of a bit lost. It was like, oh, and Leanne's sister was like, well, just let me take a look at the map. And we had no idea where we were. So the map, the Google Maps, obviously. Not a physical map. We're not savages living in
the blockchain.
the stone. Living on the blockchain.
We
There
all made that
was-
thing. Sorry, carry on.
There was, and we just found ourselves. She goes, "Oh, we're in Binley," and I went, "No way, we're not in Binley." She goes, "Yeah," and I said, "Where's Binley Mega Chippy? Google it right now." And I legit,
What a horrible place.
we were
name.
2 minutes away from it when we could,
Binley.
yeah, and we went there, and I went there, and it was like it was so weird. Like no one was there. The meme was dead by then. And I went there and I was like, I'm just gonna like, I wasn't even hungry, and I was just like, I'm gonna, because I'm so stupid. Like I'm gonna order something so I could just say it. And I got a picture outside, just me outside. But I never posted it anywhere. But it was the worst.
Have you still got it? Put it in here.
Yeah, Liam will be able to find me it. And I ordered, I think it was a hamburger from a chip shop, which is already terrible.
Mistake. Yeah.
And also halloumi cheese, and it was a block of like fried halloumi cheese. It was garbage.
Oh my god. Mate, I would have been like, you could have been like the last man to ever meme Binley Mega Chippy. Do you think that could be a thing as well? Like, because obviously it's so done now. It was such a long time ago. Could you be like, you could almost create a meme of the meme by being like, hey, the last man to find out about Binley
It's
Mega
one of those
Chippy
things,
like
though,
3 years too late.
It's one of those things. It's lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
It comes out of nowhere. It's like this. Again, it was the Willy Wonka thing, the factory. It's lightning in the bottle. It's a period of time. We'll never get that again.
Yeah.
Like that in that instance. And I think Benny and Mega Chippy is the same. And I think they tried to like, okay, we're gonna do more stuff and like try to make it a thing, but it just died a horrible death.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the way the internet now. Like, we are so just like in TikTok and YouTube Shorts world, we need things fast, quick, harsh,
Yeah.
rapid, that
Yeah.
it will go like die. The
Yeah.
only things that survive are people with actual real talent. And I really discussed this with my friend. There was a guy called Bevo who swallows food.
Yeah. We've talked about him on the pod, I think.
And it was fascinating to see, but as soon as he became self-aware and then he like did it for clicks, it lost all its like
He's
It
doing.
lost all its charm.
He's doing like club appearances now.
And
'Cause
getting balls thrown
I've
at
seen that he's booked to do a club appearance in like Scunthorpe or something.
But that's
Some
the problem.
guy that I know is promoting the
No
night.
offense to, but they're just going to use him and throw him aside on the wayside as soon as it's over. He's got about probably 6 or 7 months left,
But
unless he has some other talent. And when I say other talent, I don't think he does. God bless you, Bevo, if you ever watch this, which you probably won't.
I'm tagging him in.
He doesn't have any like he's not really.
No,
creative.
it's just a thing, isn't it? But it's like that. It's like those little girls where it's like, which one of you two has left a shit?
It's a moment in time, and
Yeah,
it's a caption.
It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful moment, and
it was fucking one of yous.
And the thing is, they should be left that way.
This is my problem with meme culture. My references are like 15 years old, man.
Mine are getting worse because I don't
God.
really spend as much time as I did on TikTok, because like I think I've spoken about this, but TikTok actually makes me sad.
Yeah.
But
what makes you sad, audience?
What makes you sad?
Comment below.
Comment
what makes
down
you
below.
sad?
What makes you sad? Has anything made you sad recently?
I mean,
I feel sorry now. Sorry, Bevo, come on the podcast.
Yeah, come on, mate.
We'll help you figure out what you should be doing.
We'll figure out your talents. Do you know what I mean?
Because he probably has something.
Yeah.
Just not swallowing food. Stop swallowing food and giving yourself horrible like digestive tracts.
Oh my God. You've told me about him, but I've not actually watched his stuff. His art. I've not watched his art. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he's a talented artist. Maybe he's a painter.
No
Maybe
comment.
he could swallow stuff,
No
then
comment.
throw it up, and then make collages.
The thing is, he became self-aware. Then he started doing like collabs, and the collabs are just like, it's not like a collaborative effort where like two amazing artists get together and you think, oh, that would be a good amalgamation of. It's two absolute TikTok morons just getting together and dancing.
Again, though,
And
this
it's
is
just I don't. Maybe I'm old. I don't understand it. I don't.
much like the early 2000s, though. You know, when there were loads of bands called the something, because they were all just capitalizing on the indie thing. Like, oh, we're called The Toilet Door. Here's our new hit single. They had like one single, and now there's just a wasteland of indie bands that just had one song and died.
One Hit Wonders are kind of the same.
There's going to be like an influencer wasteland, because there's
God, the
so
influencer wasteland.
and this,
wow.
mate, this is where we capitalize with my
Yes.
defluencer thing. Because I'm like, you get all the influencers that are sad, bitter, rotten to the core because they've got nothing left. They've got nothing left, and you go, right, take all that hatred. Right, like a Sith Lord, you put your cloak on. Yeah,
Like the Eye of Sauron.
Feel the hate.
You let the hate flow through
Yeah,
you. Yes.
feel the hate. Let the hate.
So the
flow
de
through you.
influencer program. That's hard
And
to say.
we-
De-influencer.
The de-influencer program, and
We
we get the
de-influence them.
Bevos, we get all
We get
these,
the
we get all
Bevos.
of these former influencers that had a little moment of fame.
It's like
and we
Woody
pit-
where it gets dropped. I don't want to
Yeah.
play with you anymore,
I don't
more
wanna
and
play
more.
with you
And what we could do? What do we
anymore.
do with them? This
Just
is
pit them against these
Wanna-
fucking companies that we hate, like the post office. Pit them against
How?
Asda, because they just get them to be like, do we do TikTok videos, but like, this is really shit, and I hate Asda now.
Oh, so I get it. I'm with you.
But then we get money.
Like boycotting.
We get money from corporations like Tesco, right? We go to Tesco, we're like, right, we've got this incredible defluencer roster featuring Bevo, the two little girls who didn't flush their shit,
Island Boys.
Island Boys. Name some more memes, quick.
Flash in the pan memes. I can't. I'm
the
trying
the woman from Willy Wonka that was on the
The
news
Unknown.
that time. The
Unknown.
Yeah, there we go.
Get them all.
Tiger King, we've got him as well.
Get
All
him.
of
Is he still in prison?
I don't know.
Release him.
Yeah, we've got him out. It's fine. We've got all of these celebs. Do you want them to go round Asda and fuck shit up for you? Do you want them to pop to Asda and be like, oh, these beans are nowhere as good as Tesco, and just do a shit, film it, put it on TikTok, put it out, millions of views,
Yeah.
millions.
I like this de-influencer program.
Yeah,
That's so.
that's where all the
That's such an interesting thing to think about. How many people have been? They were like one-hit wonders back in the day before TikTok and things
50
like that.
sniffs.
50 fish chips.
Oh my
and donkey
god.
rides.
We will talk about our dark past at one point. Surely.
Jesus, it's weird that we just haven't.
It's
spoken
weird.
About...
It's episode 7, and we haven't even mentioned. Well,
I think it's episode 8, actually. Now, isn't it? Oh, your memory's better than mine.
It's
though.
7. It's 7.
It's weird we haven't talked about a main thing that kind of made us. I don't want to even say famous.
We have It's sort of come up that we were in a comedy rap group, but we've not really spoken about it. But we have sort of had one of these moments. And mate, we've been fucked over again here.
What do you mean?
We've been fucked over again recently. You know, like I was saying before on another episode. Can you remember? I was saying that fucking Facebook pages as well. Fucking boomer activity. Facebook pages.
That's a boomer wasteland now, isn't it?
They rob our video. They put their own logo on it, and they post it out from their page, and it gets we've hit another milli views.
You're not even exaggerating as well.
No, we've hit
1
million views with it, but none of those views go to us. Obviously,
do you know what? I used to be very relaxed about that, as you know. I used to be like, whatever it is, what it is. Now, I'm more on. I'm more of this. Like, I need money.
Yeah,
we did that.
Feel the hate.
Did that. Stop taking. Like, I more look for remixing stuff, and you know,
100%.
I'm not up for plagiarism though.
No,
that's not a thing.
Just pages. Just Lab Bible.
Just give us a mention, just a tag or something. Not.
It's like Lab Bible and all those shit things. Yeah.
Is it fish chips and donkey rides?
Yeah, fish chips and donkey rides. Yeah. It's doing the rounds. Yeah, of
Jesus.
course. But every now and then it will just get shared again, and it will just get 1 million views or whatever, and then it will just fade away. But I'd never really get any more on the YouTube or anything from it. The YouTube sat at like subpar, mate, 500,000.
I weirdly remember being ashamed of that song for a while.
And mate, it's shite. It's kind of shite.
I weirdly have like, I don't know if you know this. I weirdly look at it more fondly now. Now it's like
you have said this, yeah,
because like I was at work and I remember one of my bosses, and we was all outside. There's a fire drill. And we all obviously, you know, if you've ever worked in an office environment, you have like a fire drill and an area that you go to. It's so whatever. And I pretended to be fire once as a fire marshal that's a different story for a different time.
You pretended to be fire?
I pretended to be actual fire. If you want me to tell you that story.
Yeah. We'll talk about that afterwards. So
remind me about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a fire drill, and one of my bosses, and at the time, obviously, is all about impressing the boss and not really. I didn't want them to know about this other side. And then it was just a casual conversation, and one of the people that I work with nudged and was just like, we got into the conversation a bit. He goes, "Have you showed so-and-so that video that you're in?" And I'm like, "Please stop. Please don't.
No.
Please don't." And she's like a higher up, and she's like, "What video?" And I'm like, "Nothing. No video whatsoever." And she's like, "Yeah, 50 sniffs, the fish tips, the dog ride." About scaring. She goes, "You was in what video on about?" He goes, "You used to be in a rap parody group." I'm like, "Please stop. Please stop."
Yeah.
Now I would be more like, and I made out legit when she asked me, I was like, "He's talking shit. I don't know what he's talking about." And she just never asked me about it again. Yeah. Now I'd be like, "Yeah, all right." I wouldn't be like in your face, like, "Look at my fucking band," but it'd be more like, "Yeah, I did it. It was fun. It was cool." And there were bosses that were cool about it. I just was so scared about what they would think of my image within work.
Yeah.
And that's so weird to me now that I'm outside of that world, because I don't care. And actually, I'm more proud of it than I am embarrassed, because I should have worn it as a badge of weird honor. Do you know what I mean?
I'm definitely with you on that one. I'm not embarrassed by it, but I just think for me it's annoying because.
Well, do you know what? Can I just interrupt? I think it's because you're the main creator, and correct me if I'm wrong. It's like me telling Oasis to play Wonderwall, and they go,
"It's the best one you've ever done." Yeah, and you're just like, we've done lots more though, haven't we?
Look at my catalogue.
It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite thing that I've ever written, but I'm certainly.
Put your makeup on and dance for me.
Do your little fish chips song. Hey,
that annoyed me though, when people used to say like,
"You know what you should do?
You're fish chips and donkey rides guy."
Go on, do it. Do the song.
Do the song.
People to this day still, I hate when people are like, "Go on, mate. Oh, sing it. Oh, go on, mate." I like.
Do you do it?
No.
Oh, you had a grin there.
But I'm like, I don't.
Fish
I feel like a bit of a cunt for not doing it, because obviously, like to
No,
that
I get
person,
it.
because to that person, it's not really a big deal, and it's not really a big deal if I was to sing it, but it's just a bit like it just makes me feel a bit like embarrassed. I think when somebody says, "Oh, do that song," and I'm kind of like, "Oh." It's not that it's more like the setting's not right. Like if somebody wanted me to perform it for some reason, I'd be like, oh yeah, cool, okay, cool, I'll get up and do that. But it's when people like put it on at karaoke or something and go on, but nobody else wants it apart from that one person.
Oh, that's
and
a good
it's
point
just,
as well. If you're in a crowd of
it's just
people,
awkward. Oh,
if you're in a crowd of people and then somebody wants it, but to be fair, I was always like, you know, you were the main face of it, so I had way less pressure than what you did.
yeah, I suppose I maybe took a bit more of the brunt of it than you did, but
I had the luxury of like just being like, I didn't get like mobbed when I went to, but I weirdly liked that. I could take that on my chin whenever it was like, remember when we went to Boston United
yeah,
and you were mobbed by all those people?
yeah, like the
you
little
looked a bit like
teenage
a
boys
rabbit
and
in the
stuff.
headlights for one moment of it when you had like so many people around you.
I think
you was like, whoa, what the is going on kind of thing.
I think it baffled me at that point because I was like, we were doing a gig, and the reason that we were the reason that we'd gone back to film was to try and drum up new interest from people, thinking that everybody had no idea who we were anymore.
Yeah. Well, we did
And
release the TikToks before that, which
we
kind of blew up.
We did, so I suppose that was it to an extent, but also at the same time, I was like, how the fuck do these like 13, 14-year-old kids know who I am? But
by the way, if
because
you're listening to
they've
this, you're
grown
like,
up with it,
what
I
are you
suppose.
talking about? Just Google 50 Sniffs.
50 Sniffs. And if you want the non-sweary ones for your children, it's just Fish, Chips and Donkey
It's
Ride.
just that one
That's
song.
just the one. All the
That's
others.
the one song we kept getting booked for, and I'm like,
There was...
please, I want to be a pub act where I could shout and do what I want. I don't want to like censor. Oh, just do that one song.
There was such a funny...
There's a back catalogue of songs that were very risky and of the time.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're absolutely disgusting, but like in the best way. But there's a couple of really funny moments. One funny moment I remember, the owner of Bateman's Brewery rang me because we name-checked Bateman's Brewery in the songs, and he was like, "Oh, brilliant!" So I went back to listen to your other songs with my daughter, who's 7.
Oh,
and he put the BSTN video on. At the start of the video, we're like, "What are you doing, you cunt?" or something. And he was just like, "Yeah, clicked off that one pretty quickly." And they've got a mug in it which says "tits like melons" on it. And just it's
we had
just
porn
so
like mags in the back,
full
in
porn
my old
mags. Yeah,
in my old room.
yeah.
Jesus, that old bedroom.
We bought a Sunday Sport, didn't we, and put loads of pictures of tits up on the wall.
Is that
for
on YouTube?
That's a Toxic video. It's on YouTube. That
And that's got full on.
Yeah, it's got full on tits on it. Yeah.
That still exists.
Yeah. But I think the quality of the camera was so bad.
Bad.
They just need from that. You can't really
How many
see
years ago was that now?
We shot the Toxic video in 2008. So
I love how you say like
coming
shot like it's a movie. I get it. You are technically right, but when I hear it, I'm like Nolan. Like we shot that. You know,
we shot the Toxic music video in over the summer months.
But no,
of,
looking
2008.
Honestly, now like I am, my head's where I'm at, and where you know, I'm fucking treading water to keep my head in this creative industry.
Yeah,
like I look at those times as fond memories, and I didn't back then. You're just kind of living it.
Yeah,
it's
weird.
weird.
Yeah, you don't appreciate it.
And now I'm older. This sounds so fucking cliche, but it's like true. No. It's so true. I look back on those times because I maybe I was a bit pretentious with it because I was like, oh, I'm more than this. I think you just had
ambition to.
I knew where we
all had ambition to like kick on. I think, but I think we also didn't have the wherewithal to go that way, and also the industry experience to go that way. So we never really knew where to take it next to elevate it. And then also there were people that were like interested in what we were doing, but unless we figured it out ourselves, they weren't going to come in and help us.
No.
So like without a deal or like any industry help at that time, we wouldn't have really I don't think we would have known what to do. So I think we were kind of stuck, and unless we had like another YouTube hit, it would have been a bit weird. But anyway, so tell me about the time you were a fire.
Oh God.
Because
You know how bored I'd be at work.
Yeah.
So anything, like, now I understand why. Fucking probably ADHD. But, like, you know, I was
What
doing the
stage
same...
are you at the moment with your ADHD?
Oh, fucking chased.
This
is the catch-22.
Still stage 2 ADHD.
Just stage 2, yeah. Just to, like, really just take a little bit of a turn. Like, it's hilarious to me. Like, it's kind of counterproductive that you go and try and reach out for help.
Yeah.
And it's all about, like, chasing people up and being on, like, especially when you're trying to get diagnosed, right?
Yeah.
And it's, like, counterintuitive because I have to chase these people, but I don't remember to chase them.
Yeah, because people with ADHD are not really...
It's not really organised.
Yeah,
We're not really on top of it. So it's like, you know, for weeks I was like, what's happening with that? I'm like, oh, yeah, I need to fill out that form. And by the way, anything repetitive that makes no sense to people like me is so stressful to deal with. It's like, they sent me this form that I had to fill in where it's like, okay, I've asked you all these questions. We had an hour chat, but please can you just answer these questionnaires again? And I was like, I've already thought to myself, I have answered these like 7 times, and he wants an official form now. And it would have taken me 5 minutes to do. But the idea of it was like, why am I like filling these forms in again?
Yeah,
and if it doesn't make sense to me, and also I've got to read the forms, which is hard for me.
Is it like a secret test? As like, is he definitely got ADHD?
Is it? Maybe.
Is that why they're making you do them? Like,
I'll tell you what, that would help me. If they
admitted that it was a test,
it was a test. I'd be like, oh well, then I will go and do the test. But I have to make it make sense because it's like, I've already answered this. You're getting me to answer it again.
Yes,
and already I'm reading, and the questions are like kind of vague. So I have to get Leanne to help me, and it will say something like, one of the questions are like, you know, do you find it easy to, you know, look at the minute details in things? And then because of my brain, I go, well, it depends on the project. And Leanne just looks at me and goes, it's just a general question. Answer it. And I'm like, but... And I get almost autistic with her and go, well, it's all the question is silly because it's all dependent on the project. And she goes, just answer the question. And I'm like, I have to have her hold my hand through it and just be like, stop being like autistic almost and just answer the question. And I'm like, okay. And I answer it and I look at her and she'll go, I'd say that's a fair answer because she knows me better than I know myself.
Yeah.
Almost. So it's like part of it is like so frustrating because I have to answer all these things. And it's like I said, it's counterproductive. And then I've got to be organised to make sure I stay on top of it and actually send the form back and make sure I do it right. And by the way, I forgot an aspect of the form. Actually, I had to email again. It's a shit show. It's a complete shit show.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I think I know I've got this thing. Please help me.
Yeah.
And also, but it's also a lot on you, and you've got to really push through it. So I am late. Like, I've sent the form back, but lo and behold, I spent about 2 weeks to send that back because I was like, I'll just get Leanne to help me with this. Totally forget.
Yeah. And
it's sat in my inbox, and I go back and I go, okay, and I get stressed out. I go, Leanne, just sit down, and I'll get this done. I send the email, and it goes, thank you. I get an automatic reply from the receptionist saying, thank you for the email. I'm now on annual leave. And I respond when I get back, and I go, yes, dude. Yes.
Yeah. So now I've forgotten about it for another 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly that. And then I get pissed off, and because see Leanne looking at me, go, calm down. I'm like, it's like the universe is saying, go fuck yourself because you wasn't organised.
Yeah.
The time I was fire. I'm so bored at my fucking job. I already was doing something different because at my job it was like, we need someone to help colour manage. Who wants to do that? And I'm like, anything but my current job right now. Absolutely. Please give me anything. So I raise my hand, and I kid you not, I'm the only person.
Sorry, what's colour managing? Because it sounds problematic.
So I worked in a print factory, and we used to print things for like, it's so boring, for the packaging that you see on the shelves, like meat and things like that, and they had to be of a certain standard. And I could bore you to death with what I know about the CMYK colour gamut and the RGB colour gamut because I was repro, which stands for reprographics, and it was just basically making sure things were ready for print, and it was the most boring. It was like QA, it's quality analysis. It was the most boring thing I had to fucking do. Like, depressed CEO, absolutely on topic at this point. I was depressed. I was like, I can't anything. A brain like mine needs to be creative, where I need to do something different, pretty much day in day out or week in week out. It wasn't. It was the same jobs coming through. If a packaging looked a little bit different, oh my god, it'd make my day. I'd be like, yes, dude, yes,
that's wrong. That's wrong. I can fix it.
Fix it, and it's a task. And then now I understand all this. Back then, I didn't know what was going on. I was looking around, thinking to everybody else like. And we just do this day in day out. Is nobody else horribly depressed?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, no, we get paid to just kind of
look at a pocket.
And I was looking around at the time going, this is maddening. Anything to get me out of this. I would go to the toilet to sleep. I'd go to the toilet to cry.
Do you know who gets paid to look at a packet? Raskin Banchang. Bring it back. So
I was bored, and then it was like, new jobs come up. Anybody want to come forth and help? I will say his name is Zoltan with...
Well, we know his name's Johnny Hammers, but okay, cool.
Johnny Hammers. Yeah. Actually, his name is Johnny Hammers. Does anybody want to help Johnny Hammers with colour management? And I go, 1,000,000% yes. Nobody else put their hand up. Everyone was like, fucking colour man. I was like, anything different than this goddamn stupid repro graphics I have to do. So I literally got into colour management, which is, again, as soon as I learned it, I was like, this is fantastic. I'm learning a new thing where you had to manage colour. And Johnny Hammers was very technical and anal about it. He was also hilariously funny, and he was my boss. So that was cool. Anyway, I soon got bored of that. Yeah. Soon got well bored of that because I learned it. I wrote everything down. And then I did it like I was warging in the back of my head every day. Again, went into a spiral of depression. And then another thing comes up. Anybody want to help with the fire, like doing the fire drills? You get paid like £20 more a month or a week or whatever it was. And I went, more money and plus like just something different. 1,000,000%. Yeah. By the way, before we go into the fire thing, I went into training for because you had to be like a fire trained person, which helped with the drills. I can't really quite remember it now, but one of the oh my god, this just reminded me of a story. We got trained on the fire drills, and there was a select few of us in this office space, and we got trained. And I'm not joking. The guy who trained us, and I wrote this down on the back because I was crying with laughter because again I was just never took anything seriously. The fire marshal's name was Nigel. Can I say his name? I can. Fuck
just
it.
Bleep it. Yeah.
No, I can't bleep it because it's funny.
Say his name. Nigel
Cockburn. He was a fire marshal. He spelt it right. He spelt it on the whiteboard. He went, my name, the fire marshal, is Nigel Cockburn. And he pronounced it Coburn, but spelt it Cockburn. I stood there, looked around really quickly at everybody else as if to say, are we in a simulation right now? It says Cockburn, he's a fire marshal. It says Cockburn, he's a fire marshal. And nobody's reacting, no one. Apart from the girl I'm going out with at the time. I look across, she starts laughing because there we go, cool.
One person in a room.
Me, dude. This is why I think it's mad. Nobody has like any sense of humour. I'm like,
nobody thought Cockburn was funny from a fire marshal.
I really wanted to say, excuse me, that's not Coburn, that's spelt Cockburn. Stop it. And I thought I was being filmed like the Truman Show. Like, is anybody not? He goes, I am Nigel Cockburn, and I went, you spelt that Cockburn though.
Did he show like any embarrassment? You know, when he said his second name, did he?
No.
No, just out and proud.
My
could
name
imagine is Nigel Cockburn.
You could imagine the kind of guy in your mind right now who is a fire marshal and his life.
But mate,
his life is about.
His name is unfortunate for that profession.
He went about
Cockburn. What's he doing? Fucking fires out.
Yeah, he's fucking fires with his cock.
Just going in. I'm Nigel Cockburn, and I'm gonna fuck you out. I'm gonna fuck you till you snuff.
He talked about was it the Liverpool fire disaster, the stadium, or was it it was a stadium that horribly burned down.
Yeah.
And I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember where that was.
He talked about that.
In Europe, was that one?
I think it was somewhere in England, man. I think it was a serious fire.
Yeah.
And he would talk about it like he was in it.
But he wasn't there.
No, he wasn't there. But he was like, he was so passionate about fire that he probably changed his name to Cockburn. he was like, he was looking at us all in the eyes, just like, you know how fast fire spreads. Every time we do like a funny accent.
Scouts?
Do you know how fast fire spreads?
You fucking know how fucking fast.
And he was
fire
so
spreads.
like about that life, and I just couldn't. Anyway, when the next fire drill was announced, I was in on it.
You channeled your Cockburn.
I was in because I was then the secret part of because what makes a fire drill is like the people not in the know.
Sorry, did you just say what makes a fire drill a fire drill?
Listen, what makes a fire drill is like the fact that the office doesn't know about it, right? Because you have to be like fire, so they have to
fire.
They have to believe it's real. Now I'm part of the fire team now, so guess what?
You got the inside scoop.
I know when it's coming. I know next week there's a fire drill. So what do? You can imagine me, little ADHD creative brain. I'm like, right. I go to the little printing room. Today's the day. The fire drill's on. I make myself this paper fire suit that I print out in orange and red. And the fire drill goes off. And I'm ready. I'm in the back room. I'm ready. I burst out and I love this. It's like, you know, you could imagine me being depressed, like anything to make my day better. I come out, the fire alarm goes off. I run out of this room where I've made this fire suit and I go, fire, danger. And everyone's like, what's going on? I'm like, there's a drill. There's no time. And I just start leaping on people and going, you're dead. You're dead. And I just start like hugging them with fire. You're dead. And they're like looking at me laughing, but I'm like, this is not a drill. If you were, you're dead. You're dead. And I'm laughing my ass off, like thinking,
in a paper fire suit.
outfit, yeah. They wanted ideas. They said like, what are we going to do to make people like get out? And I'm like, well, I didn't tell anybody either.
I'm going to Nigel Cockburn them.
I'm going to fucking dress as fire and jump on them.
I am Nigel Cockburn.
Yeah. So I did. I dressed as fire and I jumped on people and everyone loved it.
Mate.
And why do you think I didn't survive in these environments?
Well, when there's an actual fire, you've made fire enjoyable for them, so they're all going to die.
Shit.
They're going to be like, well, when there was a fire last time, he just jumped on us. It was like quite
that wasn't
a pleasurable.
the effect I was going for. I wanted to maybe it was a bit selfish, and I just wanted to jump around in a fire suit. Yeah, maybe.
I'm quite impressed that you made yourself a fire suit.
When I say made, I just stuck pieces of paper to me, really, that was like coloured, and I kept screaming, "I'm fire! Everybody get out!
Everybody get."
I was screaming as well. I made sure people got out and took it seriously. That's how bored I was. That's literally how bored I was at work. That I would just find ways to like, how can I just change this day up?
The thing with fire drills is,
you ever been involved in a fire drill in an office?
Have you ever been?
It's quite serious, James.
Have you ever been a fire marshal?
It's quite serious. I've still got the book somewhere where I wrote down some of his lines because they made me laugh.
Mate, if you can find that is gold.
I'll try. I think it's somewhere in my house.
Nigel Cockburn's Fire Tips coming soon.
Hopefully.
Depressed CEO's publication.
He was about that life, though.
We can write a book, Nigel Cockburn's Fire Tips.
We should do a whole sketch, Nigel Cockburn.
It's a bit like the Keith Lard thing, though, isn't it, from Phoenix Nights? Do you remember that?
I never watched
Did
Phoenix
you not?
Nights.
I'll put the clip in here.
You
can put the clip in here because you're doing the magic. I'll send you it. Keith Lard.
I only know of Phoenix Nights of the like. I always watch outtakes and stuff, or like the best bits of where they did the inflatable cock.
Oh yeah,
that was actually a funny.
Sammy Snake.
It's
Don't
Sammy
look
Snake.
at his eggs. Yeah,
they're fantastic.
Keith Lard, you would love him because he's a dog bothering fire marshal.
See, these people are based on real people in the office.
Yeah. There's a section of it where he's drawing fire escapes, and they're just sat there going, "Is he drawing a dog? I think he's drawing a dog. He's drawing a dog. Dirty bastard." And oh my god! If you've not seen Keith Lard, it's so.
I've heard of the name Keith Lard.
It's so funny, man. Oh my god! But I bet Nigel Cockburn and Keith Lard are like that.
These people are honestly, now I've spent time in an office and this is so depressed, CEO, it's unreal. Like, I can understand where like Ricky Gervais gets his ideas like for the office. Like, you do have those characters and they're there in some form, way or another, like different universe versions. What's his name? Gareth Keenan.
Yes, Gareth Keenan.
There is a Gareth
there's a
Keenan in every
office.
office in England.
There is.
There
yeah,
is.
Yeah.
I knew a Gareth Keenan. I knew one, and I was just like, It was like the job's worth. He like really did everything to the T. Like sucked off all the managers. Like they were, and this is so depressed. CEO. They were like so annoying to be around. I had one
and
that
jelly
in my
again.
head.
It's probably stapler and jelly again. He knows you don't like jelly.
yeah. Gareth Keenan. You remember when he rang him up? He goes, Gareth Keenan, because he had that flip phone. And he goes, cock. And just puts the phone down. Yeah, because you always you have to, man. Like, fair play, whatever. You work in an office, it's all good. But, like, for someone who, like me and probably you, who's not a stickler for the rules, it's very hard to be in those places.
Yeah.
I remember this one time. We moved to a new office and there's a kitchen. And for me, it was quicker to go through the kitchen to get to the toilet, which is the other side.
Yeah.
It was like a shortcut. One particular employee, which I won't name, Johnny Hammers.
Yeah, we'll
we
say
just
Johnny
keep
Hammers.
every single
Johnny
employee.
Hammers.
Johnny
Yeah,
Hammers is
Johnny
like
Hammers,
default.
Yeah.
Johnny Hammers just
man, woman, child. Johnny
exactly,
Hammers.
Johnny Hammers. Johnny Hammers didn't like people taking that shortcut.
Right.
Just because there was no like. So he put like a please do not use this unless you're using the kitchen sign on the door. And I took one look at that. I went through, and he's currently putting the sign on the other door because it's like 2 doors to get through.
Yeah.
And he looks around and he says to me, he goes, "Where are you going?" And I went, "Going through that door to go to the toilet." He goes, "No, you're not." And instantly I'm triggered. So I'm like, I know what's going on. Instantly I figured out everything in my head and who you are and what you're doing. You're trying to, obviously, it doesn't make sense to me. And I was like, why can't I do that? He goes, because this is for the kitchen. And I'm like, and it's quicker to get to the toilet. And he goes, just walk around. And I'm like, already I'm triggered. I'm like, stop telling me what to do. And I just looked, and he's scrawny as well. He was really scrawny. I looked him dead in the eyes and went, I'm walking through that door. And he goes, no, you're not. And I went, stop me. And I just walked straight, and he did nothing.
Stop me!
I just literally walked straight. I didn't like him anyway. I looked dead in his eyes, walked straight past him, and just opened the door and just carried on going. And even though those signs were up, some people listened. I didn't, and some people like me.
I bet you had some serious cock growth when you got to the toilet. I bet you were like, "I'm a fucking man now.
No,
I'm a fucking man. I'm a fighting man. I've got cock growth."
The thing is, right? Like it breeds that. Like, and now I might be a little bit more respectful, but I hated the job. I hated him. I hated what he stood for.
So what did he put signs up? Please only use this if you're using the kitchen. Would you? I would have probably gone, oh, well. Good job. I actually have to use the kitchen first. And then every time I went to the toilet, I'd go into the kitchen, do like a menial task.
Yeah, that's
look
a good
him
way,
in his eyes, like sponge out a
just
mug,
for a second,
and then like put the mug down. Then be like, oh, I'm just gonna go out that way because I actually need the toilet now. Then go to the toilet.
That's a good way.
And
of
then
doing
come
it.
back through.
Yeah, that's
fucking way.
Nah, I think I was there too long. I just didn't take any more shit. I was like, I can't do this. Like. You're not telling me like what there's no like it's not like people going through those doors every 2 seconds. It was just and for me and my brain, whatever, I just couldn't. I was like, stop it.
Honestly, man, like
I can't do it. Like I can't like just let people be people. Like I'm not like no one's vandalising the joint. It's just using I can't get my head around it.
It's using the corridor.
Do you think he's got a bit of a power? Like, what is that? Or do you think he's just a stickler for the rules?
Is that his version of you covering yourself in paper and saying, I'm a fire! I'm a fire! He's just not fun. Like, he needs something to, like, brighten up his day. And I bet he's at home like, you know what, Maureen? Today's the day.
I'm gonna
stop him using that fucking corridor. And she's like, what are you going to do, Johnny? What are you going to do?
I'll tell you what
I'm going to put up some fucking signs. One on one door, one on the other door. And that'll fucking show him. That'll fucking show him. I am sick of hearing that door handle creak. I have WD-40'd that bastard 400
Maybe you're right.
times.
Maybe you're right.
And
maybe
that was his thing.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like at the end of the year, like brief mention to Johnny Hammers, who has actually stopped, implemented a new...
God bless Johnny Hammers.
God bless Johnny Hammers. He's implemented a new queuing system to get to the toilets, which has actually improved business acumen by 2.3%. So well done, Johnny. Thank you. And then Johnny's like, fucking hell, I told Maureen. I got shout out at fucking business convention today.
And he goes home and bangs
He
Maureen.
just goes home with fucking.
He
Maureen's
feels
like,
so.
Johnny goes home with
Johnny,
absolute
I must-
fucking rod on,
Yeah.
and she's just there at the sink with their marigolds on, and he's just like that, lifts up her dress. Fucking told you, Maureen. Like, oh, Johnny,
Johnny
love
is such
me.
a man. Love me.
Love me, Johnny, love me up me chuff.
I don't think. I think the conclusion of that was the signs were taken down and people just continued to use it anyway.
And then he goes over and he has to tell Maureen about it. She's like,
That she's failed.
"Fuck, you're a fucking man, Johnny. I'm leaving you."
I was so bored at those places. I would just make scenarios up, like when. I'm so bored, and people pretended to work in this office environment. They would be like,
Yeah.
I've had such a day. I'm like, I've literally know you worked for 2 hours a day,
Yeah.
and then you sit down for the rest of that day. And they love it. They love like thinking, certain people anyway, they love thinking they've done a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas I will do like 2 hours of work and then my brain will be like, what's next?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And that's not me saying like, oh, I was so good at work. That's me saying like, if you've done your work within 2 hours, you should just get to leave. Like
Yeah.
in certain jobs. Don't
Yeah.
come at me when you go, well, you can't do that. And I know there are jobs where you have to be on call, like
Yeah.
whatever.
Like if you're a doctor, of course. Like that. You can't just leave. You need to be there just in case. But
some
if you work in a
jobs-
printing firm and you've done all your work for the day, you could probably, if you go home and oh my god,
no
a
resentment either.
a
I
job
don't
comes in. A job comes in the afternoon. Oh, do you know what? You could probably do that from home. Or also, could it wait till tomorrow? Probably. Do you know what I mean? Like your lead-ins and stuff are probably quite lenient, aren't they, when it comes to printing, because everything's needed to be done advanced of time.
Unless there's some, if you want to get technical about it, there were some people like on the printing presses in certain places which had to be on shift work. I think I can figure all this out though if you let me.
Yeah.
Do you know where? Because me and Leanne had a heated debate, like, oh, well, you can't just have everybody working from this, that, and the other. And I'm like, well, why don't you just pay them all the same wage, but they do like 2 or 3 hour shifts rather than 8-hour shifts? But then some people love working, but so have them people work and have them pay more, slightly more. But like, it should be skill based, not like hour based.
Yeah.
But I understand that now because I do a skill based job rather than a time based, and I shouldn't be deducted money for the fucking skills I've accrued over years just to do a job faster.
Yeah.
If I can get like 4 jobs done in an hour, what used to take me 1, it shouldn't mean I get paid less.
Yeah.
So like, I think I could structurally, and this might be egotistical of me, but like, I think I could run a company. The only caveat would be it can't be too big, because then I do believe blanket rules then need to be in place, which is I hate blanket ruls.
Right. What do you mean when you say blanket rules? Sorry, you've lost me there a little bit.
Me and Leanne got in a heated debate. This is depressed CEO, like, on topic. I love this, that we're actually staying on topic here.
Fucking hell, we are.
We are.
What the hell?
I believe certain companies get too big, and then you do need blanket rules. But the problem is this is my brain trying to logically figure things out. The problem is some people want to work more. Some people are happy to work like 8-hour days. Some people are not. And to micromanage all that over a company that spans like what? 10,000 employees.
Sorry. So when you say
never gonna.
When you say blanket rules, you mean like it needs to be the same for everybody, basically.
It's like, okay,
when the things get to a certain size, because it's too hard.
Yeah.
This is public.
This is public knowledge,
Yeah,
but have implemented now. Everybody come back into work,
right?
5 days a week.
Yeah.
But like, they announced it, and it actually got announced on the news, like sweeping, and that really caused a lot of people to say no. A lot of people to have anxiety attacks, which whatever. I sympathise with those people, but I also sympathise with people that really want to come back in 5 days.
Yeah, I'm an officey person. I think I prefer a hybrid kind of style of working. I actually had to work from home on Monday this week because I had a car problem. So, but my boss is dead sound. I'm quite lucky with my job. I work in an office part time.
Yeah.
The office I work in is dead fun. We had a conversation today.
How big is your office as well?
Relatively tiny. In my office, we have 2, 4, 6, 8 people.
So
Eight-
what about
eight
the
people-
company though?
8 people max. Oh, the company, there's probably a couple of hundred. Probably a couple of hundred.
It starts
employees.
to get squirrely across, like I'd say, like 500 maybe.
Yeah.
Because then, because essentially, I believe with Rockstar,
if it's split into teams though, because
then you get resentment over teams, which is the craziest thing.
Well, like from team to team.
Yeah, I know this.
I don't know. I don't really know what's happening in other teams in my work. So like, as in like some teams get it better than others, and
it's weird. Right, human behavior is weird. Where there's a study actually where they separated people into teams, and they didn't tell them what for or anything. They just did a study, and I'm kind of butchering this, but they've got a team, and I don't know who did.
No, this is exactly how it happened. Everyone,
exactly.
Yeah,
they got a group of people, separated them into blue team, red team, didn't tell them anything.
Yeah,
and they just one man with a clipboard would go over and go, "So blue team, what do you think of red?" And naturally, I think 90% of the people would be like, well, we're better than them and we're going to beat them. They didn't know the task. They didn't know why they were separated into teams. But pack mentality just became such a thing.
Yeah.
It just weirdly just started to, once you separate people into teams, there's this weird thing that happens psychologically where with most people where it's like, well, we're going to beat them, or they're different, they're separate.
They stink.
They stink. And that naturally happens. And
they wash their bollocks in Lynx Africa, bastards.
If I had
stinky,
I think if I was in charge of 20 people for a company, I could easily. I don't want to sit here and say
manipulate them
to get them to do whatever I wanted.
Imperious curse, Lord Voldemort.
Sauron, I'm watching over everybody. I think I could be fair with 20 people.
Yeah.
It starts to get to 100, and then you start to really, you can't, as a one person, you can't manage, I don't think, 100 people.
Yeah, but that's surely just logical. Like, surely not one person is managing 100 people. Like,
well, in certain companies, like, there's a HR team of like 3 people that manage like hundreds.
Yeah,
and then you have to take it by case. That's just not case by case.
That's
basis.
Outrageous.
You can't. There's no way. So then sweeping rules become a thing, and I have a problem with sweeping rules because everybody is individual and different.
Yeah,
and I think
that's where people
get
trapped,
big,
isn't it?
And that's where people get trapped.
Yeah.
I think we need to just. I don't think companies need to be that massive, but then that's what drives. Revenue.
Nurseries and soft play and that they have to have like 2 members of staff per. Like 6 kids or something like that. Maybe it's a bit more than that. Maybe it's like 2 members of staff. 2 members of staff per maybe it's like per 12 or something like that. But like there's obviously you have to have more adults for children. But then when you become an adult, you're just like, oh yeah, but you can just look after yourself though. So like imagine a fucking HR team of like 3 dealing with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that all have individual problems. Yep. You're never going to get a good service, are you?
It's not going to happen.
Because you're like, I've got a problem that is maybe equal to or bigger than this other person's problem, but you're having to deal with like nitpicking in front of me because they got to you first or whatever. But you need to, like, surely if you're a company, like, this is what I'm saying, if you're a company and you're making a shitload of money, employ more HR people, because that's just look after people's well-being.
That's more like implementation and more management. It's like, it's all well and good us sitting here saying like, well, if I believe I could manage a small company. I don't think I could do a big one. I think I could do...
Well, but Halstead and Smith, like, what size is that?
Unknown. You'll never know.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. We'll talk about them. Talk about them on the Patreon, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Which you should sign up for.
So, I think 50 people I could do if I ran a company. Yeah. And I think being a manager...
50 drones.
I was Googling what jobs would be good for people with like ADHD and on the spectrum, and one of them was like higher management, because you're doing something different every single day. Yeah. Just as long as it's not too personal and interrelations, it's really weird.
Because you don't have to talk to people.
No, it's more like
manage them.
It's more like you can manage them, but then it's hard because I could imagine like I need to weed out who's being a fuckhead.
Yeah.
So somebody could, because you think you could screen and employ everybody, and I could get to a point where it's like I screen and employ 100 people, which I think you're all right, and we could work together well.
Yeah.
One person would get through that I've misjudged.
Oh yeah, shitbag.
And then that's it. And
a turd in
they do that. They do
a
that
turd
with
in the
monkeys.
punch bowl.
Isn't it monkeys that can't? It's all right. Monkeys are all right in a group of around. I think it gets to 100, and then it starts to get really shit.
Well, you know,
because one monkey starts to fuck everything else up and starts like it's
Nigel
really
Cockburn.
weird.
If there's one thing I know about, it's monkey mentality, and that's exactly how it is.
Do you think you could like legit manage a company?
No. Like, yeah, probably.
I think it'd be interesting for. It depends on the company. Right?
Well, it depends how well this goes. I mean, I might have to get somebody in. Do you know what I mean? Like to manage me. I don't.
I need a slight bit of management.
Fucking admin.
The admin.
It's the fucking admin I don't want to have to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to do the fucking admin. I can't be arsed. Coming up with creative things like avenues to push the company down, marketing I can sit and do, social media, it gives me, like, it makes me depressed, but I can sit and do it. I just can't be arsed with the admin. Like, if I have to talk about quarterly periods or fiscal years or, I don't know, credit card receipts, I just can't be arsed. I struggle through and do my tax return, like, once a year, and that's enough for me. Like, enough numbers and just shite. And yeah, I think that would be my downfall. Like, dealing with people, dealing with problems, I've no issue with that whatsoever. I reckon I could do that.
Yeah, I could deal with people fairly. Again, like I said, I think it gets to a breaking point. And then these massive companies now have sweeping blanket rules.
Yeah,
and I don't blame them.
But if they start off as like a more personable sort of company and then become that blanket rule kind of crush company, they kind of lose who they are as well.
Do you ever watch the film Blackberry?
Is it about
the BlackBerry phone? BlackBerry phone, BlackBerry. That became that.
I didn't, but
it was like a fun company that these two guys started. Got a businessman involved who marketed them correctly, but then it all became about numbers. Then the businessman was more. You could read about this. When I say the businessman, I meant the main guy who pushed them further. It was a group of geeks that really like to make technology.
Oh, of course, it always is, mate.
Then a businessman comes along and pushes the idea further. You need that guy, but then also he was obsessed with buying a hockey team.
Yeah,
and then he just went off on his own thing.
Yeah, then he's got his hockey team. Yeah,
and read about all that. And then the company became. They used to have like, and the film like touches on this. I don't know. I think this is slightly true.
Yeah,
and they actually tell you at the end what happened to the main two guys.
Yeah,
but basically the two main guys, one more like the two geeks that started the whole BlackBerry company along with this other businessman. They, the one guy. One of them became quite businessy himself and actually went to more the numbers thing.
Yeah.
The other guy saw the writing on the wall when it started to become corporate. They used to have like geeky film Fridays in the office and that stopped. He saw the writing on the wall, saw what was happening, and at the end of the film it announced like he actually took his stock and ran.
Nice.
And now he's just. You don't even hear about that guy.
Yeah, you don't need
that
to.
That guy is like just a name who took his stock and went, okay, this is not becoming.
Yeah.
This is more about profit now, but he was clever enough to take BlackBerry stock, hold on to it, sell it.
Yeah.
And now he lives somewhere.
Good for him.
And just like made his money and now just lives a cool life.
When we move over to the Patreon in just a second, so if you want more of our lovely chats, please do sign up. We'll probably be running all sorts of things like free trials and really cheap amounts per month. So do sign up. I want to talk to you about. Have you seen The Founder, the film about McDonald's?
No,
mate.
I need to watch all this.
Let me talk to you about that because that's a fucking absolute whirlwind of a story. It's unbelievable, and you would love it as a McDonald's guy.
I literally had one.
Nice. Let's go get a fucking monster. And
see you next time.
See you next time, bro.
We will loop back next week.
We'll loop back, circle back
around.
Sorry, I always forget the catchphrase. Yeah. We're going to circle back to you. We're going to circle back to you guys.
Very soon.
Very soon.
Close and play.